A single individual made a superpower like America see stars in broad daylight. In 2013, he stole over 1 million top-secret documents from the U.S. and laid them out in front of the world. Since then, for the past 11 years, he has been America's most wanted criminal. Despite causing such tremendous damage to the American government, today he is viewed as a hero by the world. But why? How did he steal the top-secret agency's documents? Why did he let them leak? And yet, despite all this, he's still outside America's grasp. How has he managed to escape? The morning of June 6, 2013 brought a huge disaster for the American government. Here's what happened. A series of reports were published in The Guardian and The Washington Post, which detailed the top-secret documents from the National Security Agency. These documents not only startled the Americans, but also baffled mobile users all around the world when they learned that the American government was secretly monitoring every mobile user. These documents exposed NSA's secret program, PRISM, a confidential program that allows the U.S. government to access private data of any user through backdoors of companies like Google, Apple, and Facebook. Besides, they have a secret court order enabling them to access data of millions of Verizon customers. Verizon is a mobile operator in the U.S., akin to Airtel and Ufone in India and Pakistan. Among the leaked documents, there was also an 18-page memo written by President Obama, in which Obama is requesting intelligence officials for a list of overseas targets to carry out cyber attacks, and this was just the beginning of the leaked documents. The National Security Agency hacked into Hong Kong and China's military computers, tapped Angela Merkel's phone, who was then the Chancellor of Germany. The British Government Communication Headquarters, GCHQ, was running a program to monitor its citizens, and the leaked documents revealed conversations between the National Security Agency and GCHQ, where both agencies were finding ways to deceive people. Propaganda was being spread in various ways, and strategies were being discussed on how to exert influence over people through social media platforms. Initially, at the outset, no one had any idea who leaked these sensitive documents and whether they were even real, because news agencies, as per their protocol, are not obligated to reveal their sources of information. But exactly 3 days later, a person with conviction comes forward, taking full responsibility for leaking these top-secret documents. Despite being a high school dropout, he began his career with the U.S. military but was discharged after a year and became a security guard at the University of Maryland in 2005. Although Edward Snowden wasn't particularly good at academics, his computer skills were so strong that the CIA hired him. After spending a few years with the CIA in 2009, American tech giant Dell hired him. At that time, Dell had a contract to upgrade the computer systems for the National Security Agency, so they assigned Edward to the same project. Previously, his role was that of a supervisor. Later, he became a cyber strategist. Edward Snowden was like a diamond to the CIA and NSA up to this point. Then what happened that led these agencies to label him a traitor? Actually, an incident occurred behind Edward's transition from cyber strategist to traitor. While operating and upgrading NSA's computers, Edward discovered that the National Security Agency had the power to access personal data of any mobile user. He also saw some records that he initially thought might be of international criminals. But in reality, these were not criminals but America's peace-loving citizens. Meanwhile, a debate on intelligence was happening in the U.S. Congress. Ron Wyden, an American politician, asked the director of the National Security Agency, James Clapper, in a full Congress session whether his agency collects data on Americans or not. This Congress session was also broadcasted on national television. James Clapper told millions that, no, our job is only foreign intelligence. Edward Snowden was astonished to see his director blatantly lying on television. He was so angry that 3 days later, he left his job at Dell, where he was earning $200,000 annually. In 2013, he left Dell and joined Booz Allen Hamilton, which worked for the U.S. military, CIA, and NSA. Even there, he was put on an NSA project. Edward Snowden, an ex-CIA and NSA cyber strategist, shocked the National Security Agency with his actions. Astonishingly, he managed to steal an unbelievable number of files from their secure systems. Estimations say it exceeds 2 million. The real intrigue lies in how Edward accomplished such a feat. Without triggering any security alarms or raising suspicions, he executed this daunting task. Surprisingly, complex hacking tools were entirely absent from his methods. Instead, he employed a simple, unassuming USB drive to copy these top-secret files elegantly and swiftly. So the pressing question remains, how did Snowden navigate this digital heist? Because in normal offices, there is often a ban on USB drives due to the fear of data theft. And secondly, within any company system where there is confidential data, not every employee has the authority to access it. These were, after all, the computers of the National Security Agency, whose security is considered unbreakable. Edward Snowden planned his escape before doing this, and took advantage of his location because he was hired by Booz Allen Hamilton for the NSA project. That's why he was kept 5,000 miles away from the NSA's Maryland headquarters in Hawaii. Hawaii is 6 hours behind Maryland, which meant that when Edward was working in his Hawaii office, everyone at the NSA headquarters had already left. The second advantage was that he had access to the NSA headquarters servers through a thin client system, which was actually outdated. The third advantage was that Edward was himself the system administrator there. This meant he had high security clearance on his profile, giving him more rights, meaning he could copy data from any system without being noticed. This was the advantage Edward Snowden took, and without being noticed, copied more than 2 million files from 5,000 miles away. After working in the Hawaii office for just 4 weeks, Edward decided to expose the deeds of the NSA to the world. He copied all the documents onto a USB drive. Cleverly, he hid the drive from the security guard and slipped out, using illness as an excuse to take leave. He turned off his number and went straight from Hawaii to Hong Kong. But when he didn't return for several days and his number was unreachable, the NSA became suspicious and started searching for him. Upon reaching Hong Kong, he met with some trusted journalists, gave them the documents, and then those documents became the headlines around the world the next day. The documents leaked by Edward Snowden unveiled the NSA's secret, sparked a new debate on the powers. He was accused of stealing government property, unauthorized access to national security systems, and passing top-secret information to unauthorized individuals. Alongside, the American government demanded Hong Kong hand over Edward to them. However, he had already planned his every move. By then he had caught a flight to Russia, where he was initially granted asylum, and later in September 2022, Putin granted him Russian citizenship. Since then, Edward Snowden has given several interviews in which he explained how our phones spy on us. He mentioned a tool called Nosy Smurf that gives security agencies access to our phone's microphone, allowing them to listen to surrounding sounds without any interruption. Some people consider Edward Snowden a traitor, while others believe he is a hero who exposed the true face of the NSA to the world. What is your opinion on this matter? Please let me know in the comments section. I hope you all will like and share this video. Thank you so much for your lovely comments. See you in the next amazing video.